Hey folks, welcome back to HUBR Beer Review. Today we have a special treat. We're going to go visit our friends down at Parish Brewing again, and we're going to have greetings from the Emerald Coast. Parish is out of Broussard, Louisiana, and this is going to be an interesting one with a fun backstory. Stick around.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give your unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that once again. We appreciate you checking out this video and joining us for all the other videos we have. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. Gentlemen, what are we going to try today?
Greetings from the Emerald Coast, part of the greetings series from Parish Brewing. One that we love and have had a couple of. A couple more to come, I guess. So,
all right. Pull this one out. So we've had quite the discussion here prior to our little go live of trying to figure out who actually provided this beer. Nobody's
if you send
fessing
it
up
to us,
it.
please let us know.
Yeah, if you were out there and you bought this beer for us, let us know. I mean, it probably was one of the three of us, but we just cannot remember who did it. So,
cheers, mates.
With that,
cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
I do love
one of the
series.
reasons we were discussing, because somebody happened to notice the can-on date, and it's been over 2 years.
26 months, yeah.
Yep.
But I'd say it's still pretty good.
I swore this was Jay's purchase, but since we're on air, I'm going to give a full confession. I bought it. I didn't realize it. I had to go down to look into my box of spares, and there was the fourth beer. So I bought it back in March.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing, again, being that you bought it back in March, and it was already almost 2 years old at that point.
No, I don't look on the can on dates.
I never do either.
Ooh, there's Parish Greeting Series. Yes, I haven't.
Right, yeah.
I remember this one. That's what I was doing.
And even if you saw that it was 2 years old, you still would have bought it, right? I mean,
yeah.
I would have.
It's a fun little sour.
Yeah.
Speaking of your glass, show your glass
like
there.
That?
You got the special one, right? This was part of a
one
recent...
of my Father's Day gifts. It's all funky. It's for sours.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna put a link down below.
It's a pain in the ass to hold and drink. Because you don't want to get it all hot, and you want to keep it cool. So you're like this. It's like, but then putting it down,
stick that little finger out.
Yeah,
that's all right.
We'll put a link down below. We'll put a link down below where you can go check those out. It's comes in what? It was a 4-pack of glasses. 5-pack. Okay, so it's awesome. You've got the cool glasses now. You're currently the cool kid on the show. So,
well,
all right. So
you've said that you'll put the link on for your prior links.
Maybe I'll actually do it this time. Maybe I will.
So I want to talk about the label here.
Let me talk about the beer. Let me get the beer first out of the way. This is the Greetings from series. We've done Greetings from the Landmass, 5.6%. Greetings from the Emerald Coast. It's a Berliner Weisse. Has pomegranate and guava and soft coconut center. And it uses crystal hops. Go, Jay.
So typically when I think Emerald Coast, and I go down that way a good bit, you guys do as well, various different places when we go to the beach. It's on the Gulf Coast. Parish does this greeting series that mainly consists of a lot of areas related to the coast or to water. But when you see Emerald Coast, it's interesting to me from the standpoint of uh, that's really more of what the Destin Sandestin area claims as the Emerald Coast. However, the label here depicts you have the six blue angels, and you can't see it as much on Ben's label, but they actually have the blue with the yellow on the tips of the wings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The condo complexes here uh, are actually part of Pensacola Beach rather than Destin. And so you can see what Andy's showing right there is the water tower right there at Pensacola Beach. When you come across the bridge and out from Pensacola, there's the 3 Mile bridge. You go through Gulf Breeze, and then you go over the Intercoastal Waterway, and you see this water tower. And these are representative of the complex called Portofino that is down there at Pensacola Beach. So uh, it's a good little history lesson from that standpoint. I've been down there many times. I used to run. There's the race that they always do on Super Bowl weekend. It's a 15K that starts out in Pensacola proper, and it runs that loop through the historic district. Across, you run actually the 3 Mile bridge, then you run through Gulf Breeze, and you run over the Intercoastal Bridge and finish right there on the beach. And they always have a big boardwalk party with they typically have the Michelob truck with craft beer and bands playing on the boardwalk and red beans and rice and things like that. But so it's a neat
Nice.
area. If you get to visit Pensacola Beach, it reminds me a lot of some of the areas that we go to, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, those areas a lot, probably 10, 15 years ago. It's not as overpopulated, and they don't allow a lot of the high rises. Those are really the only high rises. And the Portofinos that they're showing here are actually on the bay side. So they're across the street from the beach.
Nice. Yeah, the areas we typically visit are quite
Yes, sir.
populated now.
Andy,
Andy,
I would like to add to this.
Sure.
I mean,
The
if you
Emerald
must.
Coast is the unofficial name of the western coastline of the Florida Panhandle, which traditionally has stretched from Pensacola Beach to Navarre Beach, Fort Walton Beach, Destin, and Panama City Beach. The term or the phrase was actually coined in 1983 by a junior high student who won $50 in a contest for a new slogan. Do you know of another very unofficial name of the Emerald Coast that it's often referred to? Think of Floribama, but that technically isn't part of it. What is the Gulf Coast is also referred to as? Think
The Redneck Riviera.
Redneck Riviera, yeah.
Yes.
So, like the Mayan Riviera down there, this is the Redneck Riviera.
So, a couple of other interesting facts. They do have Peg Leg Pete's down there in Pensacola, but there was a place called the Sand Shaker, which I don't know if it's still in business. They had tax evasion problems, but the Sand Shaker is supposed to be the original
Uncle
location where the bushwhacker was invented.
Interesting.
But we contested that with the review of that one beer, because remember it was down in the Caribbean and brought back to the States by some bartenders from Florida.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, what beer was that?
That was the one from Big Beach Brewing. It was the Bushwhacker Stout that we did in the big can.
Oh, Flight of the Snowbirds.
Flight of the Snowbirds, yeah. So,
yeah,
y'all have to go back and look at that review. And yeah.
One thing I can guarantee is there are no tax evasion problems here on Hopped Up Beer Review. So, just we are all
we're losing money on this.
Yeah. So IRS is not concerned about us at all.
No, our biggest worry was trying to figure out who gave us this beer, and we solved that
Exactly,
when we
yeah.
fessed up.
Yeah.
I bought so much beer this year, so I'm like, I can't remember. But I did want to say, in honor of the Blue Angels, as is right there on the can out of Pensacola, I wore my fighter ship.
There you go.
So
There you go.
got my X-wing on.
And it's really cool if you do go down to Gulf Shores and Panama City, all that area, you're likely going to see a Blue Angel airplane if you're there for a few days, because they practice up and down the coastline. I was there a couple weeks ago and I never saw one, but I definitely heard them. And I've seen them every time I go, pretty much. But I just missed him, from the clouds or whatever. But you always see them down there practicing. It's really cool to see them run up and down the coastline.
And they usually publish when they're going, and they do a huge show down there at the Pensacola Air Station, right over the water. So,
and I want to tell people.
Ironic.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Ironically.
No, go ahead.
I just want to tell people who are not familiar with the third coast of the U.S., the picture is real. That is not played upon. White sand, emerald, turquoise, blue waters.
We got enough people down there already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben experienced it
East
4th
Coast
of July.
and West Coast. I've been to those beaches. Brown sand, murky waters. Seriously. It's a gem.
Yep.
The whole Florida, especially from, the lower Alabama on to the rest of the Florida Gulf side, white sand.
Yeah, just don't go over to the Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. So it's not
the Barrier Islands ruin that too.
All right, so I'm going to review this first.
Jay's ready to move on.
Moving on. I mean, it is Broussard, Louisiana, Parish Brewing Company. It's a regional brewery, yada, yada, yada. If y'all know us, we have done Parish more than anybody, I believe.
Probably up there. We have a huge playlist.
Yeah.
Did you have something else to add, Ben? I don't want to cut you off.
I did not know.
Screw that.
I mean, you're just taking over my job here of saying, Jay, why don't you go first? Mm-hmm. But, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Andy provided the beer, and you're going to call on me anyway because you don't want to first. So, so this is interesting to me, given that it's 26 months old in this can. Wherever it has been stored, they did a good job of it. I don't think that it was exposed to extreme heats or colds or other temperatures, whatever not. The flavor is really good. You can pick up on definitely that little coconut, the pomegranate, the guava. I think I'm still a little partial to the landmass, but maybe that's because it was the first one of this series I had. I also like another one that we have coming up for review, Sippermore Point. Just a little teaser there, but it's really good too, and it's very similar to Landmass. Overall, I think this is still really good. I'm going to give it an 8.
All right, Andy, what do you think?
Hey, I think I'm going to go next. I really like this. The Greetings From series are usually, being a sour, fruity, light, meant to be refreshing.
Breakfast beer.
Could be a breakfast beer, definitely. Brunch beer. Skip your mimosas, pour yourself a Greetings. This one, a little thicker because of that coconut, I believe, in there. A little heavier on the palate. So, but it still feels like a warm weather vibe type of drink. But it adds depth, and it is it's just another level of wonderful. I knew that it was out there, but this is evidently the first time I've had it, and I really like it because I do enjoy coconut. I'm going to give this an 8.5. I'm just impressed. I would want this anytime I could get it. Now, if I were actually on the beach, a little too heavy for the beach. This is beach adjacent. Maybe I'm in the air conditioning of my condo, about to go on the balcony, enjoy a morning, waves before I go out there just to sit there and look. A little too heavy to be in a hot atmosphere, but still a tropical feel to it.
Could be a good post-run beer. When you come back from your run, you get this, you get your fruit back in your system.
Yes. Don't want to get scurvy.
Would you drink this if you were, in the cockpit of a Blue Angel? Is that where you could really
Or the
enjoy this one?
Blue Angel, I'd be like, unless it was an
over.
IV, intravenous or like a straw,
well, maybe. All right, so I don't care what the canned on date says on this one. This beer is fantastic. I absolutely love this beer. I'm somebody who loves coconut, though, in a drink. I'm going to get a pina colada when I go to a tropical location because I love a pina colada. I definitely get the guava, and then I get the coconut on the back end. So those are the flavors for me. The pomegranate, I don't know so much, but I'm with you, Andy. It's definitely a little bit thicker of a drink. I've had the greetings from the landmass recently because that's kind of made its way back around, even though we reviewed it maybe a couple of years ago, and I don't think we saw it last year. This one to me is better. I like this one more than the greetings from landmass. I'm with you. 8.5 for me on this one. I think it is a fantastic beer. I love the flavors that come through. It's just great. And wish we could get this all the time because I would definitely buy it and throw it in the fridge. That is going to be an 8.3 from the greetings from the Emerald Coast, Parish Brewing Company, Broussard, Louisiana. Definitely one, if you find, I don't care how old it is, you grab it, you drink it, you are going to like it for sure. Great beer. We definitely enjoyed this one. Just missed the Hopped Up Beer Review Wall of Fame by ever so close. So definitely one you should grab and check out.
I do want to say before we go on, I mean, Parish does a great job on the can art, and they show what appears to be dolphins. I think they should upgrade the can and throw in some sharks in there now because of recent this past summer, the increase in shark attacks on the Emerald Coast, especially. Just saying.
I think the funny thing is you say it's dolphins, and I look at it now and I see that it's dolphins. I thought it was sharks to begin with.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably
Perhaps they should put some riptides in there too. It's a violent area. So
red flags.
Stay away. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look, don't touch.
Yeah. So definitely appreciate you guys checking out this video. We had a fun one with this one today. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. We truly appreciate that feedback. Appreciate you leaving comments. Appreciate you coming into our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server and chatting with us there and checking us out on social media. That's all down below. You can also grab yourself a shirt like Jay and I have, a glass, a koozie, and we've got a link for that as well. We don't really make any money off of that. It's just something we offer up in case you're interested. So if you are, we appreciate just the fact that somebody is interested in buying something with our stupid logo on it. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.